With breaking news from Iran, where state media says that President Raisi and the Foreign Minister Hossein Amir-Abdollahian died when their helicopter crashed on Sunday. The wreckage has been located and there are...
It's not that cool of a nickname for Raisi, though. His name was Ibrahim. They called him Ebi, short for Ibrahim the Butcher. Ebi the Butcher.
No survivors among those who were on board. The search took place in a mountainous area in northwestern Iran near Tabriz. Mr. Raisi was returning from a visit to Azerbaijan, where he'd been discussing cooperation over dams and water supplies. The helicopter had been one of 3 flying together. This is it taking off to return to Iran. The other 2 reached their destination safely, but the alarm was raised on Sunday when Iran's interior minister said the president's aircraft had experienced a hard...
Like Vlad the Impaler goes hard, okay? My epigenetic memories kick in. The moment that someone says, oh, I'm Vlad the Impaler, I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay? Goes hard. Goes hard. Not, did a lot of fucking crazy stuff. Okay? I mean, he literally impaled people. Okay? He made a forest of impaled people. That's crazy. That's crazy. You are giving people props for no reason. Make fun of this guy. Name him something weak. Like, I don't know, like alliteration is cool. I can't think of anything like with R, Raisi. I don't know. The poopy pants.
Landing and communication had been lost. Several countries offered to help in the search, which was hampered by bad weather, as you can see from these pictures issued by the Azerbaijan Red Crescent Society. Overnight, Turkey launched a drone to search for the missing helicopter. This map tracks its progress. You can see
dude,
where
this is pretty funny. They did the most Turkish thing of all time. They found news. Spoiler alert: the Turkish Bayraktar drones, I think, found the helicopter fairly quickly, and then they went and did a crescent and star on its flight path to be like, to give a shout out. It's so, it was a Kinja drone, not a Bayraktar, sorry.
Concentrated its search. In the early hours of the morning, Turkey said it had identified a source of heat, which it suspected to be the wreckage of a helicopter carrying Iran's President Raisi. It said it had shared the coordinates with the Iranian teams. Then these pictures emerged a short while ago. These are pictures taken by a drone of the crash scene. You can just see on the laptop screen the wreckage of the helicopter. Well,
that's why it was pretty crazy when people were like, oh, you think he's alive? It's like, dude, have you seen a helicopter crash? Like, no, man. That's not how this goes, okay? Like, especially if a helicopter's crashing, good luck. Okay, good luck. At that point, it's over. It's so fucking Jover. It's so goddamn Jover. Like, what is it called? They have the auto rotate or whatever. Like, obviously, you can land it, but if it crashes, it's different. You're cooked. And I don't know how you can auto rotate in the midst of like dense fog, right? In a forest on the mountainside. Like, good luck. But yeah, here's what they did. Here's what the Turkish drones did. İran'da aramalara katılan Akıncı İHA Van Gölü üzerinde ay yıldız çizdi. How is there fog in the middle of the summer? What do you think, bro? They are in the mountains. There's fog every morning in Los Angeles in the middle of summer. Why is this genuinely a point of contention? Do you guys think, just come out and say it. Do you think like there's a Jewish weather control gun? Is that what you think is going on? Do you think Jews control the fog? Is that what it is? Like, what the fuck are we doing? What are we doing here? Like, it genuinely doesn't make sense to me at all. Like, Yeah, Jewish fog machines caused the crash, dude. That's what happened. Anyway, let's
With me
continue.
now is Parham Gabadi from BBC Persian. Hi, Parham, good to see you. And this accident, this crash happened last night in Iran. And since then, there was speculation about whether or not there would be any survivors, and confirmation in the last couple of hours that the president and foreign minister have been killed. What are the authorities in Iran saying?
So the authorities announced that they found, as you said, they first found the wreckage, and they immediately said that there is no sign of life around this wreckage. And they said that they've got only less than 2 kilometers to reach this helicopter, and they were going to make it there within a few hours. But the efforts to find this helicopter took all the night. As you said, it was hampered by the bad weather. First, it was foggy. That is believed to be the reason for the crash, and then it turned into rainy weather, and over the night the temperature fell and it started snowing. But Iranian Red Crescent was not able to find the president, so they asked help from the
Blame the weather. Guys, it's a helicopter. Like, it's a helicopter flying through tricky terrain in incredibly dense fog. It literally does actually make sense. Okay? Like, there is, guys, this has happened to a very prominent figure by the name of Kobe Bryant. So it's not like, it's not that strange of an occurrence. Okay? Like, you should know. It was very heavily publicized at the time. It has happened before. Nobody's saying Jewish space lasers, but fog in the middle of the summer is sus. No, it's not. You're fucking stupid. I can't believe you're not joking. And I can't believe you're saying this seriously. What are you saying? No, it's not. It's not weird to have fog in the middle of summer, bro. What the fuck are you talking about? I just told you, literally this morning, there was fog in Los Angeles. Oh my God. And we're not even in like mountainous climate. They're up in the fucking mountains, bro. It was snowing too. In the middle of snow in the middle of summer? What's that? What? Like, depending on how fucking high you go, people that live in like Arkansas forget that people live in other places around the planet where like weather conditions are very different. Certain YouTube debate bros are filling their timelines with straight up conspiracy theories, shaking my head. Wait, what do you mean? Who is like saying that this is legitimately like a conspiracy, a plot or something? Like, here's the thing, okay? It does actually, the timing of it is suspicious. So I understand why people immediately were like, wait a minute, this is a little weird, right? It is a little odd. It is strange timing in the midst of like this powder keg. Okay. And I understand like your immediate reaction without knowing all the details. If you didn't know anything about what was going on, it makes sense. I've seen several streams talking about assassination. Huh? Wait, really? Kuwaiti chatter here. Everyone is convinced it's a Zionist hit beyond a doubt with zero proof law. What? It's not a civilian helicopter. They could see this was Israel. My Marine vet told me that there is no chance the fog got to the pilot. Okay, guys, I can't tell if you guys are joking or not, or if you're being serious. Okay? I can't. You need to remember that you have American chatters who didn't receive a good education. I'm going to be fully educated teacher in a month, so I will start working on some lessons plans to fix them. Bro, my Marine vet. Like, what do you mean, dude? Did he also tell you what what his favorite tasting crayon was? Like, what? Okay. It's because thanks to a combination of TikTok brain and jokes being taken too far, so many leftists are like one bad day from being straight up QAnon. Like, guys, yeah, Ugopnik had the correct take. The worst thing about helicopters is that they fall out of the sky so often you can't even spin a decent conspiracy, even when foul play is likely. Yeah, dude, it's crazy. It's just a thing helicopters do. Hello, helicopter expert here. Okay? Hello, helicopter expert here. That's a thing helicopters do. Okay? They do it. And they do it because of their clientele that normally takes helicopters. They do it all the time. They do it to the Delta Force. They do it to, rich people. And they do it to heads of state and presidents and shit like that. Because those are the people that take the fucking helicopters. That's just what it is. It's an insane method of transportation, okay? An insane one. And don't even get me started on ospreys, okay? Remember, people tried to do this with the ospreys in the Mediterranean. There was an osprey that fell in the Mediterranean, and a week later, another one in fucking Japan. That is just what ospreys do. If you don't know anything about ospreys, that's how they operate. They are murkers of whoever the fuck they're traveling, whoever the fuck they're carrying, they will kill them, okay? Black Hawks as well. But ospreys especially. NATO helicopters literally crash and kill soldiers every couple of years? Yes. Helicopters fucking fall all the time. It is like, think about it this way. I have been covering this shit pretty reasonably for the past 8 months, okay? And before that, for the past 10 years. The timing of this death is definitely suspicious. But once you look into the situation at hand and you realize there is a helicopter involved, all of a sudden it is not so suspicious. Okay? That's it. It is the most consistent thing the helicopters do. You are talking about a massive country that is like retrofitting helicopters from the fucking 60s to this goddamn day due to an unimaginable amount of fucking sanctions. You are talking about a helicopter ride taking place in a mountainous region with an insane amount of fog. Okay? That's it. There's literally proof that the heli was shot down. No, there isn't. And you're just trying to fucking give me proof that there's a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, which there is one, obviously, unless you're subscribed, in which case you won't see it, so you're not going to believe it. You're going to be like, there is no 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, but there is one, okay? And you are the one who gave me the fucking bait at 10:55. I wanted to wait until the proper timeline. I wanted to wait for the proper window of opportunity. And that's why I waited for a silly ass bait in the chat that I could repost. That's right. At the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break. Now, you might not believe it. You might not see it. You might be like, no, Hasan, there is no fucking 3-minute ad break. Well, there is one. Yo, 34MKD50. Thank you for the 50 gifted subs, allowing 50 people to no longer see the ads at the top of the hour. I don't think Western media is prepared for this video.
Walk this.
Oh, I know what this video is. We'll see it. We'll watch it in a little bit. Anyway, imagine it ends up being an assassination, then shadows will come yapping like the Russian invasion take. No. You want to know why they won't do that? because I'm not going against potentially the American State Department in that situation. Okay? And for the record, it doesn't even matter. Yeah, those when I get something wrong in the other direction, in a direction where I'm like basically saying similar things that like the American government would be saying, which doesn't immediately mean it's wrong, mind you. Okay? No one is gonna fucking criticize me if I'm wrong. That's precisely that you guys don't understand. Like, people that shill for the State Department get things wrong every fucking day. Literally. You just never hear about it because nobody questions it. You only get elevated to a higher place of prominence if you just repeat the State Department propaganda. In this circumstance, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because that's precisely the reason why like no one is going to turn around and be like, "Oh, dude, you fucked up on this." Especially because it doesn't even matter. Like I will await further confirmation, but as it stands, of course, that is the most reasonable narrative, the most reasonable assessment here. I don't know what exactly happened. I'm not fucking there, and there isn't enough information yet to make a full-blown conclusion, but as far as it stands, it is reasonable to assume that that this is an obvious like thing that happens to helicopters. I don't know how else to describe it other than just it sounds so stupid when I say it like that, but like that's just a thing that helicopters do. I'm Iranian. My university is literally in the mountains. It's so fucking cold. It gets even colder in the north of Iran. Y'all, it is foggy even in the summer. Only slightly sus thing is that it was the only helicopter out of 3 helis that crashed. Also, the heli model was old as fuck. Likely a Bell 212 helicopter acquired before the Iranian Revolution. Your takes are accurate here. Yeah, it's like, bro, they're retrofitting fucking old ass parts on a goddamn helicopter from like the fucking 60s and shit. And people are like, I can't believe this helicopter fell. It's like, dude, I'm shocked that the helicopter was standing before this moment. I'm more shocked that they even use these fucking copters. Yeah, I mean, look at the fucking environment, dude. Look at this. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
بینندگان عزیز سلام عرض میکنم. همونطور که مشاهده میکنین بنده الان دقیقاً جایی هستم که بالگرد حامل آقای رئیس جمهور و همراهانشون
Like, look. This is like 10 hours, 12 hours, 14 hours, 15 hours after the crash too.
در اینجا دچار سانحه شده. همونطور که میدونین دیروز بعد از افتتاح سطح
Incredibly sus timing, but when I learned about the sanctions on their maintenance, it made a lot more sense. Yes, everything in fucking Iran is sanctioned to the shit. There's a reason why that's not like a military fucking... I mean, normally, I would assume heads of state would take military vehicles, right? That is like... I think that's literally a fucking copy of like a military Huey, and it's not actually... It's just like a civilian version of it. And even on top of that, they're like... you know, they have like shitty-ass parts on them. And even if they had literally the best parts, even if it was the best, modern, greatest fucking helicopter of all time, they still crash regularly. Like, chatters. You can't even make out the people that are literally like a couple meters away. Okay? In broad daylight. I'm sorry, but if you think that a fucking expert pilot is going to be able to navigate through this this fog, which especially if it's worse, because I think it was literally worse than this at the time when they were flying, it's, you know, GG's. Like, what are we talking about here?
قزغلسی که داشتن می اومدن تبریز در همین منطقه در جنگل‌های ارسباران به خاطر اینکه هوا مه‌آلود بوده بارش باران داشتیم اینجا دچار سانحه شده و هم اینجایی که مشاهده می‌کنید پیکرهای هواپیما اینجا هستن. از دیروز عملیات امداد و نجات از وقتی که این حادثه اتفاق افتاده انجام شده. نیروهای سپاه، بسیج، نیروی انتظامی، ارتش همه دست به دست هم دادن و مردم این منطقه رو عرض کنم که شبانه روز نخوابیدن، در کنار این نیروها بودن.
Yeah, I mean, I suspect the sanctions played a big role in this. Washington Post, Iran, hampered by sanctions from getting parts and maintenance materials for government aircraft, has suffered several high-profile helicopter crashes in recent years. U.S. sanctions have caused helicopter crashes in Iran. Not sure if that's the case with Raisi's crash, but another reminder that sanctions, which sound benign, are a form of violence. Like, that's it. It's just, that makes infinitely more sense, in my opinion, than like, a potential Jewish weather machine, okay, that caused instant fog, or I don't know, like some other kind of space laser or some shit. Like, no, it's definitely just, you know, the regular old shit. It's just what happens to fucking helicopters in general. But a Jewish weather machine sounds way cooler. That is true. It does sound cooler. Remember, you said they built their economy on sanctions. Why couldn't they build up some maintenance? Brother, there are obviously still going to be issues. Like, the helicopters still fly, but yeah, it's just not going to be as good. Anyway, yeah, where is the Iranian Tim Pool when you need him to be like, listen, I am telling you, bro, AI. Has anyone looked into whether or not the plane of the helicopter is a woman? You have woman pilots. The AI pilot, bro. It must have been a Kurd who was flying the... Yeah, they wouldn't do like black people. DEI in Iran would be like, it's Kurdish pilot. You cannot let the Kurd fly the helicopter. You are letting Kurdish woman fly the helicopter. This is what happens. Don't let the Kurdish woman fly. Actually, the other thing is the Azeris. Yeah, they also they say torque, right? Torque. They make fun of in Iran. They make fun of Azeri people, and they call them like, what is it, Turk? But like in a weird way. Yeah. Anyway. Is Iranian Tim Pool still bald? Extra bald. Anyway. Okay, I didn't think there was anything funky going on with that crash, but then I came across this. Breaking. Israeli official tells Reuters the country had nothing to do with the helicopter crash that killed Iran's president. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Okay, that's suspicious. When Israel says they didn't do something, then I immediately think maybe they did do something. Okay. Yeah, that's real sussy, dude. But yeah, ultimately, I'll wait for further details. I'll wait for further details on this stuff. But my immediate reaction yesterday is my reaction today. It's the same. It's just that, like, considering the method of travel and all of the circumstances surrounding this crash, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense that this happened. You know, it is a fucking helicopter flying through dense fog, probably, you know, not getting the best kind of maintenance possible with retrofitted parts, flying through a mountainous region. He got Kobe'd.
Turkish and the Russians. Apparently the Turkish drones played a really key role in finding the wreckage of the helicopter overnight and trying to detect where it has fallen.
So tell us about who the president was, what his role is in Iran, and what his death will mean for the country.
President Ibrahim Raisi was a totally different president compared to his predecessors because, for example, Rouhani was, they all had their disagreements with the Iranian supreme leader, who's at the helm of the politics in Iran. He holds most of the power. Ibrahim Raisi.
And the 1/3 on the convoy. Oh my God. Yes, dude. Yes. Yes.
He was considered to be his protege. He was a yes man. He did not.
Democracy Now! Guest earlier was talking about it. If it is in fact Mossad or CIA, Iran will run the weather angle for optics.
Had any disagreements with the Iranian president. So, and his presidency is one of the most short-lived presidencies. He did not even make it to the 3rd year. And he started his, he came to power when he was just an 18-year-old in the judiciary system that later on became known as a kind of committee of death because they issued a lot of death sentences back in the 80s to many Iranian dissidents. And that's why many human rights organizations, when he came into 2022, when he became a president, many human rights organizations, including Amnesty International, asked for...
Bro, they're still doing this dude sucked and doesn't matter anyway docket. I mean, it makes sense. He kind of did. It's not the fucking Ayatollah, you know what I mean? So it doesn't really matter. Like, he did kind of suck. He's the fucking president. It's like, it's more so symbolic. Like, the parts where he exercises power were mostly bad, all bad, honestly. And he is seen as like the figurehead responsible, even though it's not technically just him, but he's seen as a figurehead responsible for all of the like mass executions, like state sanctioned executions and shit like that. So obviously, he's not a good person at all in general. And he's not even like a particularly powerful person in general either.
For investigations for him about crimes against humanity. So, and then he became the custodian of Imam Reza's shrine in Mashhad. The importance of that is where the money and the power is. So he reached the source of money and power at the very young age. And then he became the president a few years ago. But like I said, he was considered to be the protege of Ayatollah Khomeini, a person who listens to him, who obeys the orders, and who does not disagree with the commander-in-chief.
What do you think his death could mean within Iran, given the protests, the increasing number of protests we've seen there over the past few years against the authoritarian regime? Could they have any impact?
That's an important question because the reactions are divided. Obviously, the Iranian, the supporters of the regime, yes, last night, for example, they went onto the streets of Tehran holding prayers for him. But those are the people who support the regime, and that is the tiny minority. And how do we know that? Because just a week ago, there was an election in Iran, a parliamentary election, and some of the candidates got it to the parliament with only 3% of the votes. That is how unpopular the regime has become. On the other side, we've got people on social media, especially those who've lost their eyes, their limbs, and their family members during the protests just over a year ago. And those people, you see that they're posting, they're celebrating, they're cheering, drinks, clinking.
You're misunderstanding one of the major factors here. When this guy says protege of Khomeini, he means that he was the front runner for the assembly to vote him as the next supreme leader on the advent of Khomeini's death. That still doesn't change the reality that he's not necessarily a particularly celebrated or powerful figure currently as it stands, as he's the president. Like him being propped up potentially for ascension doesn't change that reality. But like I said, he's one, not even like potentially celebrated on his own. Like he's not even as far as I understand, there are obviously regime enjoyers in Iran, and it's not an insignificant number. And then there are people who are incredibly fucking anti-regime. Now, the incredibly anti-regime ranges broadly from like the psychopathic Shah lovers and the American-backed MEK enjoyers, all the way to just like regular young Iranians who just don't want to be fucking murked by the morality police or don't want to fucking get in trouble for protesting because, I don't know, they're just incredibly repressive, right? Overall, this guy's base of support is just people who are some of the regime enjoyers. That's it. Still fucks up the bag, though. The Supreme leader's old as fuck himself. This helicopter crash killed off the second and third in line. Imagine if the VP and like the part that is not being talked about that I think is more significant is the foreign minister. Like that is a actually important position, and that is a person with a lot of fucking influence, a lot of geopolitical influence. And they're rarely even covering it. Everyone's talking about the fucking president, and like no one gives a shit about the president. And obviously the people don't personally give a shit about the foreign minister, but those in positions of power in Iran do. Okay? Because that is the person that is making decisions. That is the person that is like directly talking to the Ayatollah. That is the person that is playing a formative role in Iranian politics in the region. And that actually is shocking. It's shocking for multiple different reasons. The fact that they are all on the same fucking helicopter. What the hell is going on? Who does that? That is so stupid. Like actually stupid as fuck. But regardless, you don't understand HasanAbi? They were besties? Yeah, this makes no sense. Yeah, I would expect this kind of behavior from the Polish, not from the Iranians. You know what I mean? We're talking like 1,000-year empire. What the fuck? That's crazy. I mean, Iranians have fallen off. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. This is Polish activity, straight up. Putting fucking multiple leaders in the same helicopter and flying the helicopter through dense fog. No, that's like if Poland does that, I'm like, that's normal. They have one helicopter for the whole fucking state. Who the fuck does that in Iran? Anyway. The turnout for this last election was the lowest since the revolution. 73% to 43% from 2017 to 2021. Yeah. Anyway, let's continue.
Celebrating his death on social media. So these are the two different reactions to his death so far.
The president and the foreign minister killed in this helicopter crash. Given that Iranian proxies are operating all over the Middle East, not least, of course, Hamas in Gaza, Hezbollah in Lebanon, the Houthis in Yemen, and you have made clear that it is the Ayatollah, the supreme leader, who is the key decision maker. But what impact do you think, if any, their deaths could have on the regional conflict?
Minimal, apparently minimal impact, because like I said, the commander-in-chief is Ayatollah Khamenei. He's the one who even chooses, almost recommends, as they say, the foreign minister. So those are usually the proxies that you mentioned are controlled by Iran's Revolutionary Guard. And that is a totally different branch controlled by Ayatollah Khamenei. And the president has no role in that. And it's important to understand also that the difference between President Raisi and his predecessors was that he almost turned presidency into a ceremonial role. And he did not exert any power, he did not disagree. Even in foreign policy, for example, the ex-president Rouhani had a totally different understanding of foreign policy. He wanted to reconcile with the West, and there was a struggle of power within the Iranian politics. But with Raisi, we did not see any sign of that. So like you said, the proxies around the region, they're controlled by Revolutionary Guard, so that is not going to be impacted.
So now there will need to be elections, what, within 50 days?
Within 50 days.
Do you expect a continuation then of another candidate to be chosen and inevitably voted in, who is a key ally and supporter and an actual proxy of the Ayatollah?
Definitely, because the signs that we've seen over the past 2.
It's a joke, man. It's also a joke because, like, Polish Redditors get extra mad about it. And it's funny coming from a Turk who is definitely lower in the eyes of Europeans than a Polish person. That's it. That literally is the only reason. To the other chatter you were responding to, because you said, as a Polish American, I love the Polish dumb stereotype growing up, but it has never impacted me. I find HasanAbi's running gag of absurdist Poland slander very amusing. Also, the other reason why I made fun of made the Polish joke is because it literally did happen. Didn't they also have a head of state get murked? Yeah. A Polish Air Force 2154 crashed outside of Smolensk, Russia, killing all 96 on board. His wife, economist, first lady. Wait, was that the one? In 2010, the Smolensk air disaster. Any Pole mad should just mention the winged hussars and Vienna. True. That's also the other reason. Yeah, they literally, remember when I said it's crazy to fucking pack an entire fucking flying thing with multiple leaders of a state? Poland literally did that in 2010. Like, they did that. Anyway, but yeah, the winged hussars and stopping the Ottomans at the gates of Vienna is something that I will never forgive, nor will I ever forget. And that is also part of the reason why I always do anti-Polish jokes as well. Y'all fucked up on that one. I'm just saying, dude. Y'all fucked up on that one.
3 years is that Iran has a body that they have to approve all the candidates, and that body has been disqualifying all the candidates, all for the presidency and also for the parliament. So it shows that Iranian Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei, most of the analysts believe that he's preparing the ground for the transition after his death to the next Supreme Leader. We do not know who that person might be, but we know that he's preparing the ground for that transition. And for that transition to happen smoothly, they need a person who is completely loyal and faithful to the commander-in-chief.
Okay, Parham, thank you.
I'm Iranian, and do you know how many people he personally killed? Probably a lot, I suspect. They're calling him the Butcher of Tehran, so I feel like you don't get a nickname like that for not killing a shit ton of fucking protesters. Like, loads. No, he was a meat seller. No, that's Erdogan, and that's not even meat. He sells watermelons. Yeah. Honestly, unironically, that's why I think there's a minor chance it could be an inside job in order from Khamenei rather than a foreign entity, but I still don't know. I don't put it below them to be that dumb and pull off Polish. Yeah, no, it's just like these things do happen. Like I said, I understand why people would be like a little bit suspicious given the timing of it all, but like once you look into the details, it kind of clears up any confusion that you might have.